Welcome to your. See, you got me messing up. Welcome to my perspective, because I'm over here. You took the floor so much. I'm saying the wrong thing. Welcome to my perspective. It's your host Rick. That's your co-host. That's my co-host JC. Uh,
Hey.
I'm over here messing up.
Welcome to our perspective.
Welcome to my perspective at the moment. Yeah, we're gonna twist it outside. So I got a question, JC. I got three questions, and we're gonna gauge them from 1 to 3. 3 being the spiciest,
okay.
1 being the lightest. Um,
I'm
so
scared.
you choose 1, 2, or 3.
Let's go with 3.
You want to go with 3? Okay, okay. This was a question that I seen online.
Oh,
Um,
never mind. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Would you rather your daughter or your son to be gay?
That's not spicy, and I don't
That's
care. They both could
spicy.
be gay.
That's spicy.
That's not- They both could be gay. I don't care. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm the wrong person for that question. Baby, they both
Yeah.
could be gay. I don't care.
I don't know what the level was for you, so
Ain't
you
no level. They
automatically.
both. Well, first of all, I don't have. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. But my
Who would
child.
you rather? But the question was, which one would you rather be gay?
I don't care. They first of all, it doesn't make me a difference. Like if you want to be
Why
gay,
not?
be
Why
gay.
not? You're right. No, no,
I'm
no.
sorry. Like it's not a spicy question for me because be gay. How does that impact my life? I don't love you any less. I ain't in the bedroom when you
I
getting
wasn't
hit.
taking it that far that you would love it. You know, I
I
feel you.
know, but you know,
A
but
lot, a
there
lot
are
of
some.
people's responses was
No,
I'd rather
I
be
know
my daughter
exactly
than
what
my
you
son.
talked about. And they're like, because the question was, would you rather your son be gay or your daughter be a whore? That was the question the
You're
one
right.
I
You're right.
said.
You're right. I asked
Exactly.
a totally different
That
question.
you asked a
I
totally
did
different
ask a totally different
question.
question. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And my answer would be the same. Like, would I rather my son be gay or my daughter be a whore? Like, my son could be gay all day. Why I want my daughter to be a whore? Like, that's weird. But they was straight up, men and women was like, no, my daughter could be a whore. I want my daughter to be a whore. Like, yo, weird as freak for that.
We're not promoting that. But what?
That was the original
No,
question you should.
no. I feel you. I
That's
feel you.
my point. The original question you saw online was, would you rather your son be gay or your daughter be a whore? Right?
Right.
You made it less spicy by saying, would you rather your son or your daughter be gay? So I'm gonna take it to the
Because I
level
kind
of
of feel
spice
like
that was intended.
I guess that's kind of where my brain went with it because at the end of the day, that's kind of what the question was because they twisted it and made the daughter
No,
a
they
whore.
just
That's more
because they
acceptable.
know the mentality of people in 2024 being gay, male and male relationships are still a stigma, right? It's still
Right.
something that people
Well,
are
being a whore
not.
is also one of them things. So, right.
But clearly, being a whore is very widely respected amongst parents when it comes to their daughters because they would much rather their daughters be whores than
It's
their
more
sons be gay.
it's more accepted than respected.
But I feel like the only person whose sexuality is my business is me and the person I'm having sex with. Anybody outside of that is a non-factor for me because it doesn't have any bearings on what could happen to me, how I live my life, or any of that. So I feel like to ask a parent, or any person to choose, and I'm pretty sure like had we had a wider panel tonight, you would have gotten very different responses because I'm pretty sure
100%.
people would
100%.
have been like, nah, like I definitely don't want my son to be gay. Like, baby,
100%.
I don't care. Like I said, I ain't in that bedroom. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
That's facts.
Go be happy. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. But and the same thing, like I don't even my like the daughter being a horror part. Like again, I'm not in any of those rooms, spaces, bath or whatever. But I still don't feel like that's like you know what I'm saying. Like because we talking about a horror, like that's your profession, or like you just. I'm saying at
Is
one
that a
time
profession? That's not. I feel you. I feel you.
that was one of the highly regarded professions. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day,
Yeah, yeah,
you
illegally.
know, you
So,
know. In
so
Vegas, it's very legal, but whatever.
let, let me touch the second question real quick.
All right.
How important is sex to you in a relationship?
Very,
You
very
took no time. It was just very.
often a lot pleasurable for both parties involved. Like it's a non-negotiable. If your sex is bad, there is no relationship.
Damn. I
Then
feel like a
what?
lot of women probably feel the same way you do. If there's
if I cannot be sexually satisfied in all the ways that I want to be sexually satisfied, why are you here? I can love you to death. I can want to be with you for eternity. But if I can't get pleasure in that area, what are we doing? If I teach you all the tricks to the trade for me, and I still, baby, why are you here? Why are you here?
But that's not what life's about, JC.
It's not what life is about, but it is a part of my life. And I
You guys are
want
supposed
to
to
be
grow
sexually
together.
I want to be sexually satisfied. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So
Okay.
I'm not compromising on it. It's very important to me.
Okay.
Now, if the love of my life had a tragic accident, right?
That's a whole nother stuff.
It couldn't perform their sexual duties without leave. No, that's a horrible person. But I need you to understand.
So are we okay? Are we okay in cheating at that point?
It's not gonna be cheating because you're gonna have to understand that this is a part of
open relationship.
It's not gonna be open. It's not gonna be whoever. It's gonna be a selected person. It's gonna be one person. Like, baby, I love you, but you know.
So hear me out. Hear me out. I'm only going on the deep end because you know that's what I do. I'm only going on the deep end
all the time. It's never enough.
So with that being said, you and that significant other, due to this accident, come to a conclusion and say, "Oh well, you know, baby, go fuck other men. I want you to be happy, but we still in an open relationship because we're still married." Is that cheating? Or because I got consent, it's okay?
It's okay because they consented. I'm not going behind their back. I'm not lying. They are.
Do you think cheating is only because you got consent? Only because?
How is it cheating if the person knows? I can't cheat on an open book test. The answers are there. I just have to find them. If my significant other, husband, spouse, whatever, says, "Hey, listen, my penis don't work. I know that's something of high importance to you in this relationship. And I know you don't want to leave me because of how much you love me."
Peep the perspective of how it should seem a little different. All based off the perspective of the conversation.
But that's just like open relationships. You can't cheat in an open relationship.
It ain't mine. It ain't mine. That's my point. It ain't mine. That shit not mine. You told me all this fucking time that shit was mine. It wasn't mine. That's my point and or purpose that these men got this shit all fucking twisted over some vagina. That's the problem. So whole time you got me thinking this is mine. So
first of all,
I give you the okay. I give you the okay. I argue with you. I give you the okay to go give your vagina away. I'm not gonna say my thing because it ain't mine. End of the day, you say, "Okay, baby," and what you do? Turn that switch, and now it's somebody else's. That's not cheating. It's so here's the thing. Concept.
Listen. It's not cheating. And let me say this: women need to stop telling men. Women need to stop telling men that the pussy is theirs because it's not. Shout out to my girl Jasmine Sullivan. You know what I'm saying? Because that is a myth. Exactly. Like, no, it's mine. Like, if I give it to you, I'm letting you experience it. But baby, this is mine to do as I will.
That's the line right there. That needs to come with a disclosure on paper when you get in a relationship, when you go fuck somebody, say all that shit. Because at the end of the day, I man switch it and say, "Nah, what you mean? What you mean? This is dick mine. That dick mine right there."
But also, men should probably stop asking that question when they're deep in the throat.
It's in the moment. You gotta ask the question. If y'all give the wrong answer, that's nobody's fault. I'm confused.
It's not nobody's fault. But if you going, like, who pussy is this? And the girl like, "It's mine." You gonna be sorry. She's saying it's hers.
Don't fuck the moment. There's a moment. It was in a moment.
Yeah, but that big your hands up when you're in that moment, and then moving forward, you feel like it's yours to have and to hold and to take possession of it. It's
because that helps me feel secure. I need to lie to myself help me feel secure. See, I can say that. I can say that. Me, this guy.
Okay.
I'm only saying I can say that because that makes me feel good saying it at the
So
moment, and you
that's the
reciprocate
sense
the
of
energy.
security. That's the
But
sense of security for you in the moment, or do
in the
you take
moment,
it? Do you take it? Do you let it carry you out of the moment?
oh yeah, both. So hear me out. No, hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not delusional.
Okay.
I let it carry up me out the moment. This way, I can continue to walk around secure. I could
Okay.
continue to walk around feeling like, okay, faithfulness. I could continue to trust you. I don't go off in the deep end. This is how I keep myself to a level because I know that you're with me, I'm with you, and this is what we're doing. I like that. I like that idea. I'm selfish like that. That's what I want. Don't think about it. No. This is what I this is how I
Yeah.
feel.
No. I'm gonna let you be going
I
until
feel you.
you.
I feel you. But I'm saying I know technically it ain't mine because technically that was your vagina. So technically it's my dick. You know what I'm saying?
No,
But
and your delusion, it's okay that you need to feel that to feel secure. It's
no,
crazy, but
that's what I
I'm gonna
want.
let
That's what I want. That's what I want to feel. That's what you couldn't need. That's not what I said. I want to feel
you
that way. That's what I want.
your want your want for delusion
It comes
is
in
admirable.
me. It's not delusion, but it becomes in me. It's cool. It's cool. I don't
Okay,
like
but
I don't like what you trying to do. I'm just,
I'm not okay.
it's cool. You're not gonna change
So
my
what-
mind.
I'm not going to change your mind. I know I'm not because you live in your own
On my
space.
own word, I got to.
Yeah,
We're all
yeah.
delusional. At the end of the day, Josh, we're delusional. You think you smart? Nah. Not saying you.
No,
That's
no. I get.
you
No,
ever
no,
saying?
no, no, no.
Like
I totally
I'm
get it.
saying,
And I do feel like everybody
it's delusional.
lives with a little bit of delusion, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that.
This is
I
crazy.
feel like in order to keep our sanity, we have to have a little bit of delusion about certain things.
You gotta lie to yourself. So's my pussy. That's it. That's it. Fight me. That's that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Here's why. The problem is, Josh. Sorry. The psycho men, right? The men that psycho, not the delusional, the
The,
non-delusional.
the
I ain't
psychopath like
delusional. The
yourself,
psycho
got it.
ones be
Like
like, yo,
you.
I bought you a ring. That's mine now. Just pay for that. You can peep it that way. Homie said, and the bigger the carrot, the bigger the strain that I have on you, the bigger the rope. You know what I'm saying? That right here, it's like a thicker band to see how much I bought my trust. You feel me? And the bigger the carrot, the bigger the trust. So I expect the pussy to be mine on deck. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I just feel like that's the cycle.
I mean, and I can see
The
where
insecure cycle.
a person would equate the two. Okay,
Yeah, the
cool.
insecure cycle, man, that feels like he needs to spend money on shorty to keep her. That
Yeah,
kind of mentality, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Again,
yeah.
that's what I was
And,
going.
I got you. And there are people who are like that.
Yeah.
Perfect. I understand that. But back to the original, because sex is so high on my
On your
to-do
to-do
list.
list.
Not like that, but it's very high up there. I do feel like I said, like, so it can't be considered cheating if the person is okaying it. It's just like open relationships. If you're in an open relationship, how can either party cheat? We both know this is something that we have set up in our relationship for it to be a thing. It's only cheating if I'm sneaking, going behind your back, doing all this old extra stuff that you don't know about. But if we had this conversation due to this tragic accident, right? We had this conversation and I'm saying to you, like, hey, I don't want to leave you because of how much I love and care about you and what we have built together, because we're talking about my husband. Let's be mindful of that.
So that's the open book test
Yeah,
example
exactly.
where it's
Exactly.
just
That's
like
what I'm saying.
giving me the answer in a way I'm cheating because I'm just writing it down.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So what do you call this if the book is open over here and in my peripheral I can see the answers?
That's not an open book test, because open book test you gotta have your book.
No, it's not open book though. It's not open book.
So then it's not an open book.
What do you call it?
But that's cheating because it's not an open book.
If my peripheral, I'm sorry, it's going like this, and I see the answer on
So, Rich, you like to do that a lot, and you're not going to spin my words because I know what I said. I said an open book test.
I was just asking.
I said an open book test, meaning everybody has their open book, right? Okay. Everybody's allowed to search for the answer. So we have open communication. We talked about this. Versus the teacher like, oh, it's a test today. If you got your book, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have your book, but if you don't bring your book, you don't get to look at someone else's book. You know what I'm saying? So if my guy is telling me like, you
book is better though, like you know what I mean?
Nigga, we got the same book, you just didn't bring yours today. If my husband is saying and he's in agreement with this,
Right.
and I'm talking about a person, like I'm not talking about just going out here swinging, from this tree to that tree. I'm saying like, no, right. I'm going to specifically look for a person for them to understand that this is the only need I have for you.
So you're looking for a thesaurus. You don't want a novel. You want a thesaurus.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where open communication comes from. And the thing, like, but that's also about knowing yourself. Like, if you knowing like sex is high on your radar, like you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying, compromise. Or I mean, you could compromise if you love the person enough, or if you feel like you can do without certain things. Personally, I know what I like, and I don't want to settle for less than what that looks like for me.
No, respectfully. So to be clear, I ran on that tangent just to aggravate you.
I know.
For those people that don't, So I mean, it's whatever. I'm not explaining myself to them, but they know me. I know this. So I'm asked about the last question. I think you might like this one.
I doubt it.
Should religion be an issue in a relationship?
That's interesting. I don't think it's. That should have been number 3, not number 1. That was the harder question.
That was an extreme.
That
was an extreme.
I
think there's more complicated that response, that answer to
that. I don't think it should be an issue as long as both parties respect the other person's religion. I feel like it's doable. I know in some religions, like the process, or like, you will want to convert, your significant other, your spouse, over to your religion. But I feel like, especially if you're brought up in this religion, right, and it's like, it's who you are, and like you are really steadfast and strong in your beliefs, I feel like if you love this person, you can coexist with this person and still have your different religions. And personally, I feel like, when it comes to like you having children, like you should let children explore and get to know all of them and not just have to follow what either of the parents, religion is or does, because I feel like religion is something personal to every person. And it's something, honestly, like, and I didn't realize this until I was older, that you really need to like research, right, and understand, because even though we're reared in a house with our parents, as we grow, we kind of develop our different beliefs, different understandings. So I think if two people can have that conversation, understand like, hey, this is my religion, I'm steadfast in my religion, I'm not changing. Hey, this is me, I'm steadfast in this, I love you. Are we able to coexist in this one space, and have healthy conversations, back and forth dialogue about our religions and, whatever the case is, and just be respectful and understanding what they are? I don't think it's a problem.
I think you wrote a thesis on that shit. I think that was a good answer. Like,
but I feel like, number one, no matter what your religion is, I feel like to have a good defense or offense to anything, you need to know about everything, right? So while you're studying and learning your religion and being a part of your religion, you should still learn about everything else, because as we all know, like at one point or another, they all kind of like intertwine. They all kind of have similar, very, very similar ideals within these religions, especially depending on what you're talking about. But I do think you can have a successful relationship and not share the same religion. That's just my take on it. What's your take?
No, I actually agree with you. Me with my children, I feel the same way. I feel like I don't want to force what I know on them. I definitely put it out there. I'm gonna decorate my household for what I believe, and if they ask questions, I'm gonna answer and leave them to be curious and choose their own path. I don't think we should force them into that type of thing. I definitely agree, and I think that whatever the child's spirit is drawn to is what should be. And I think that it's only fair, because they're sponges, to allow them to follow their own direction. And I don't think that it's dangerous to allow them to follow their own direction. And the people who object to that, to be honest with you, I'm gonna jump to another topic real quick. And this might be risky, but I feel like the same thing goes with transgender. And what I know it sounds real far fetched, but I feel like nowadays they're allowing these children to make decisions for their body in a sense where, in my opinion, I don't think you had enough experience in life to make a decision whether you want to be a man or woman. I know this sound wild, but there's nah. Like that's something I need to step in on, and I think that's not as far as it's the same thing as far as I feel like as religion goes. It's the same concept where I feel like you need to really understand the decision you're making on your own, not just on some like okay, well it's a trendy thing and this is okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I think like, it's a piggyback. It's funny, I just had this conversation like not so long ago with my best friend. And we were talking about just that, right? That same thing. And I just feel like um some things are on trend and so many people who have done it are now, as they're maturing and becoming older, are reversing their procedures or whatever the case is, right? Because I feel like, for most of us, our frontal cortex doesn't fully develop until we're 25, for men, probably much later. But, so it really takes a lot, it really takes a lot of time to really, figure that out, and to kind of see. And I feel like we should, like, again, like, I think with everything in life, anything you decide to do, like, you should, like, kind of read up on it, research it, and if it's like an innate feeling of this is who you are, like dress how you want to dress, whatever. But I think the actual, surgery hormone parts in it should come later. When as I can't decide to drink at 14, right? I can't decide to smoke and buy cigarettes. I feel like those same attributes should be contributed to, the same things. And I feel like we have to allow our children a sense of, like, I understand what you're going through and feeling, but I need you to really understand what this looks like. I really need you to understand what this means. And I really need you to research all the pros and cons that, um, are involved with that, and not discrediting who you feel you are as a person, like ever, when it comes to our children, because, we're not inside of their bodies. We don't know all of what, that looks like or that entails, because that's not our lives. That's not how, what we've gone through. But I do feel like it's a sense of understanding and knowledge that comes with it that you want to, and make sure your child has, right? If that's something that they're bringing up to you, and making sure you're providing the space where, like, you can come to me and talk about it. Like, I might not be 1,000% in agreement with what your decision is, but we need to have an open forum about this. You know what I'm saying? And when the time comes, you can, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I think they should have a trial run. I think they need to create something like that. I think there needs to be a simulation, and it's nothing permanent, and we just get to try a dick on. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, for real. I feel like okay, so you brought up. I'm crying. The face. I feel
Sorry.
like I feel like we have access to cigarettes, right? And we have access to alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hide your bottle in your house because as an adult, you can have that on a child. Don't smoke cigarettes in front of your children. Okay. Um, we accepted all of this. What the child wants to do is smoke, but we're stopping, preventing the child because don't smoke too early. It's going to stunt your growth. But this is something that the child is viewing. It's something that the child feels. It's something the child wants to experience. They want to drink because they see this online. People are changing their sex. They see this online. It's something we do. It should be accessible just the same. Oh, let me get that dick hologram off the fucking shelf. This shit right next to the condoms. It's shit like that. I feel like they should have trial runs that you could just put a dick on for a week or put a vagina on for a week. You grow ovary. Because I feel like, all right, so you want to be pregnant so fucking bad. How about you understand what it feels like to be a woman? Right? You wanna feel contractions, want to get your period. Listen and learn. Nah, I just feel like you should have shit like that accessible.
But I also feel like, and this is
around,
gonna
throw
be,
the shit away like a cigarette butt. Like, oh fuck that.
I mean, and this is gonna be super controversial and everything, and I get it, but I feel like,
fuck.
I know, but I feel like, with that being said, even with like whether you change your gender or not. And I know that's how they feel, and that's respectable and it's understandable because no one can tell you how you feel or who you feel like, right? But I feel like when you go to the part of saying like, oh, they can try your menstrual, like those are things like innately you can't do. Like you can't, and I know they have like the machines or whatever, but you can't innately replicate.
A&D got these niggas out here having periods.
Yeah, but they're so and okay, so I understand what you're saying, but those are women who transition into men, right? But they're able to have.
No, it's men that's transitioning into women. They wanna they're giving them they're making themselves have periods and
But how, like,
cramps.
but it's not like, because and this is my thing when people always bring the period debate into this conversation. All women don't get menstrual cycles. All women can't.
But not all women go through the pain. I know that too.
No, I'm saying not all women have menstruals, period. Not all women can reproduce. Like everybody feels like because you're born female, like because you're born a woman, like you have all of the parts inside of you that work correctly to be able to produce a child. That's not accurate.
Well, no, I agree, but the percentage is pretty high that most women are able to. So I guess.
But the fact that there's a percentage who are born not able to do those things, I don't know why that is like, oh, that's the woman thing. Right? Because you can't discount a woman who is born biologically a woman but still can't produce a child. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not all that we are. And I think that's the debate that people don't want to talk about when you have men who transition into women who are like, oh, and it's like, oh, you can't get a period. Like you can't have a baby. But there are biological women who can't do those things. So I think that makes the point mute at that point, right? Because there are women who are literally born without their ovaries or without the ability, their reproductive system does not work. So
I feel like that's not fair though, because I feel like
I understand that, but I'm just saying there are biological women who can't do that. So that point is
biologically niggas that born one nut.
Exactly. So my thing is like saying that, oh, because you want to have and I'm just saying on both sides of the spectrum, like the ability to have like a menstrual cycle is not, oh my gosh, like that is not the greatest thing that has happened to women. Like nobody wants to.
I'm not in transition, so I can't speak.
I understand
I agree with you though. I feel like you said in that other podcast that we did about the butch, excuse me, giving that defense, for that side for the LGBT.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like it's the same for them to defend that because I couldn't say. Now, in my ignorance, I would assume that if I wanted to transition, that's what I would do too. Like, you know what I mean? If I want to go all the way, I want to be everything that's a woman. But that's one of the major key things that's part of a woman because of that cycle. That has to do with birth. That has to.
But I think we're discounting a percentage of women who do not get a menstrual cycle. We're discounting a percentage of women who are not able to carry the term. Like I just feel like
they're the people that get thrown away. They're the people that people don't talk about. They're the minority.
But that's the problem though, because they are women.
But society is a problem because they don't know that.
But in this conversation that me and you were having, I don't want that to be the case. And I'm telling you that we're not going to discount those percentage of women who innately can't do those things, but they are biologically women.
All right, let's talk about those women.
We just did. Because you about to piss me off.
I'm just already pissed you off, so I want to continue.
No. But next topic.
Let's talk about those women. No, let's talk about that. Honestly, due to my ignorance, I actually don't honestly think about that often, and this is true, and it's unfortunate because there's a lot of women that want to have children, and have to go through early menopause because of certain things, and it is unfortunate that women have to deal with it. And I'm not going to disregard that and be.
That's all I'm asking. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like, let's just acknowledge the fact that like that is not the. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you can't have a baby, you're not a real woman, but it's like women.
I would never say that. I would
I'm
never.
I'm not saying you, but I know like that has been said.
Right,
So
that's
I just want to, when we talk about the transgender situation, like that is not the end all be all to a woman, and they're like that's what they want. But I'm like that's not like innately. There are just some things, you know what I'm saying. And I know everybody gonna say, oh well, you're like I still have a vagina. Like the insides don't produce, you know what I'm saying, or can't carry a baby for a plethora of reasons. But that doesn't make me less of a woman.
So since we
Versus,
advocating on that, right? So does it make you less of a woman if you're desensitized? You don't have any feeling in your clitoris. Can we advocate for those women? Are they less of a woman? They can have children, they just can't feel pleasure. Since sex is like the number one thing to you. Now
they're still women. Like how desensitized, being desensitized does not make you less of a
not to the
woman.
extreme, to the extreme. Not on some playing yourself all day. Nah. I use the wrong term. Talking about that shit shut off. Like you don't even know what's happening. You know what I mean? You just plead because your body tell you to, that type of shit. You know what I mean? You don't feel pleasure. How about that?
I
We're
am
not gonna
deeply
talk about
saddened. I am deeply saddened for anyone who
that's
does
true.
not feel pleasure. But they're still a woman. They're still a woman.
100%. I agree.
You know, like we're not going to discount them because
Would
we
you
don't know what
consider that
happened.
handicap?
I wouldn't, but some might. It's a loss. It's a loss of something, right?
Shit.
You get on my.
Could you imagine?
I don't want to. Thank you. No, not at all.
No, I'd like you to. This is our preference.
I um.
I'd like you to. I'd like you to
um,
experience
hmm,
no feeling in your vagina.
I don't. Why did you get so close to say that? That was very weird.
I wanted to make everybody uncomfortable.
Oh, okay, it was weird and dramatic and very
100%.
unnecessary. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what that feels like. I am not even
Me either. I just
okay.
wanted to know what you think. What you
I
think
don't
about
know.
feeling like
Like
that.
I probably would like what? Like you
You
just
probably
dare.
kill yourself because to you, sex is like top tier.
I would not unalive myself for any reason. Let's just say I
Okay,
love me.
100%.
Right? I would not unalive myself. That would be very traumatic. I don't know how I would.
It wouldn't be traumatic if you never experienced it, but if you have experienced it and then lost it, yes, I agree.
But that's what I'm saying. Like we're talking as if I've had it. Well, I have it, and I'm going to lose it. Like nah, that's too traumatic. Like at this point,
So
put me in a nursing home. Like
do
put
you
me in a
know how
nursing
men
home.
feel with erectile dysfunction?
I don't know because I don't have anything to be
No, I'm
erect.
saying it's kind of
Sorry.
similar. So I feel like we just disregard those men because that makes
But
them not men anymore.
that's not true.
Really?
They're still men. I feel like those
No,
are
no, it's
conversations.
the same way you said woman is woman because
Yeah, but those are conversations. But I feel like it's different for men though, right? Because I feel like that's such a stigma, right? That is like a huge thing. Like a man
yeah,
can't get an
you
erection.
ain't
Like
no
what?
man, it don't work. Oh wow! So now I just don't provide nothing. I don't do none of this. I don't do these other manly things. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You know.
Yeah,
But
yeah. So
I mean,
defend us, because it's trifling.
I'm not a man, so I don't think I can answer.
No, but it's trifling females that feel like we need to just throw the whole nigga out.
I mean, you already said what I would do if my man, my husband, who I don't have, by the way, had a situation and they couldn't do like it would have to be an open conversation, open dialogue. Like I wouldn't discard him, but like they need to have a conversation or like, but it's medication for that though, right?
For ED, yeah, but
Oh, okay, so you know,
but the shit we talked about before, that wasn't straight up ED. That was just
I know, but I'm just saying, make sure I got insurance and y'all should be okay.
I would want to know what that feels like. To be honest with you, I think that me honestly, I don't want to be with you no more. I know I sound wild. I don't want to be with you.
Oh,
I want to love you from a distance. I want to move to freaking Idaho or some shit.
you want to move to Idaho and live on a farm?
To fucking Idaho.
Cool.
Yeah, because I need to feel like somebody.
What are you going to do on a farm?
Raised. I remember I wasn't born here. I know I wasn't.
No. I'm not saying that. So you're just gonna go. I know what you can do on the farm.
Take care of farm animals. Like find a task to do.
You just
I just feel like I'll just be so useless. To
I'm sorry.
damn. See the insensitivity.
Because you just want to uproot your whole life because that doesn't function anymore.
It'd be so drastic to me that I feel like I couldn't give you something yo, as a man, I need to be able to give you something. Like
Is that all you
we
have
got
to
it.
give?
Nah,
Is that all you
I
have
gotta.
to offer as a
You
man?
nah, fuck out of it. Nah, if you got 8 kids by me, I'm like, I'm staying in the house. It's cool. But like, at least I feel like I did something. But if it was a span of time where we was married and I don't know, I just definitely have to leave because I always feel
But if
like.
you're still taking care of the household how you were before, like,
But JC, you got being realistic here. Let's be realistic.
okay,
As a man, I'll be so down every day that I feel like I cannot perform my duties. You know what I'm
okay,
saying? I feel like I can't. I lost my strength.
okay.
I mean, that's how it would feel.
Uh,
It's easier to say it, but to go through it is something I do not know. But I'm sure it's a terrible feeling if you're just incapable of doing certain things, and it's something that you real need some deep therapy. I might move back from Idaho, you know what I'm saying, at a point, but I need to take care of these animals because I just feel like I need some type of purpose. I feel like
I need
I'm
to
going
say,
to be in my head. The only way I'll be alright with it is if you like 80 years old. And I'm like, all right, she ain't even worried about it. I mean, but if you something that's still a thing to me and I love you, you just like, damn, I gotta look at you like, damn, you still look like, you know what I mean? You still look like somebody else want that shit. Cause it's mine. It's mine. It's mine. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm gonna start getting like that nigga, like, oh, it's mine.
oh Lord,
You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
I gotta compensate. And to create an accomplice, I feel like a lot of men would be on that type time without even realizing they're on that type time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's unfortunate. The ego is so fragile, man.
So
So
fragile.
fragile. So fragile.
Yeah. No, I get it. I understand your perspective.
Yeah.
I get it.
But we've been on this for a grip, so
I
I
know
appreciate the time.
this was good. We got through all three of your questions. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it.
yeah. I jotted them down like in that moment. You know what I'm saying? I
Okay.
hope people enjoy this long one. It's gonna be a hell of a
I know.
upload.
Good flow. Good flow. I like it.
But I appreciate your time and your feedback, and hopefully, if you guys have a Merry Christmas or Xmas for people who celebrate Christmas. Oh, that could be the
Happy
next.
holidays.
Be the next topic. Ooh wee, Krampus, Christmas, Saint Nicholas. Damn. No, we ain't gonna do that.
We're not doing
That ain't real.
that at all.
Okay. So, uh, but appreciate your time, JC. We out.
Bye.